Good morning, Erin. You hear me, Erin?
I'm here. I can hear you.
All right. I'm just waiting for everybody else to kind of trickle in.
Not a problem.
No worries. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it so much.
Not a problem. I appreciate your friendship and everything you guys do for me. So not a problem.
All righty.
How's everything going for you? Good?
Good. Yeah, just busy.
Yeah.
But
You still teaching?
no, not this semester.
Okay.
They had some budget cuts, so
Uh,
last
and
in,
you're
first out.
yeah, you're busy.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Oh, here we go. We have Chastity. Good morning, Chaz.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing good. How about you?
Good. We're just waiting for everybody to trickle in.
Nice.
Aaron's here.
Hi, Erin. Thank you for being here.
Oh, no problem. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing well.
Good. Glad to hear.
Yeah, thank you for offering all these tools for us.
No, not a problem. Let me know. If you want, I could sign you up today. Did I already or no?
I think I emailed you and then you got back to me and asked me maybe a little bit more specifics.
Yeah,
And
just what criteria you want. If you were wanting a certain bed or bath or square footage or something like that, not a problem.
sure, great, great. And then that's where I got stuck because I thought, oh, let me think about that. So,
Not a problem. I'm going to sign you up today for that program. So you're going to get an email from me and you create your own login and your own password. I don't have access to it. It's private. So
oh,
and
okay,
then
wonderful. I
and
mean,
then I can walk you through it. We can meet, whatever works for you. Not a problem.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
No, not a problem at all.
All right. We have a good group today. Good morning. Good morning. I'm gonna
Good.
have
Oh, hi, good morning.
good morning.
Morning.
Large group.
Yeah, I love this. Okay. Hey, there we go. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Good, I stopped it.
I was like, what's wrong with her? He's like, really?
I know. Well, I don't know. I think it's the wind. It's causing me to have this nasally thing going on. I
The
hope,
wind, everything it's picking up, the fire smoke, everything.
yeah, everything. So I'm hoping that things calm down. Every time I look at the news, I'm like, it's unprecedented. Everything is unprecedented. So hopefully we're going to have an unprecedented year. Actually, it is starting that way, by the way. If y'all aren't getting people calling you wanting to list their home, then you really need to be here. I've already had quite a few calls.
One of my or my partner in my office, Corey, he was having a conversation with one of his agents out in Orange County, and for this particular area that the clients are looking in,
Mhm.
last should if it was like this week or the previous week was like 160 homes came on the market.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm
We're starting to
saying.
see, yeah, inventory stack up a little.
It's crazy. It's
Hmm.
crazy. So, I mean, this presentation couldn't be at a more timely time. You got to get out there because it's like what digging for clams. You just got to be on the beach, you know? I've never dug for clams, so weird analogy. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get going. I don't want to waste anybody's time. So today we are going to be talking about farming, and I want to introduce a word to you. It's called geofarming, and that is the difference between farming that they do in the Midwest and what we're talking about. So geofarming is geographical farming. You are farming for clients in a geographical area. Okay. So last week we talked about how to pick your farm, and we encouraged everyone to reach out to Aaron. Now, Aaron tells me that he's not gotten any calls, so that's very disappointing. If you haven't reached out to Aaron, I hope you're reaching out to someone. And
Rachel and Chastity did at the end of the week reach out to me. They did reach
oh,
out to me. So,
wonderful. Oh,
so yeah, a couple of people reached out to me. Not a problem.
great, great. That's so wonderful. Now, I know that some of the agents already have the tools on their phone. So that would be another reason they wouldn't have reached out to you. So I'm not, saying that anyone did anything wrong. But if you don't have the tools on your phone, and if you haven't reached out to Aaron or another title person, now's the time. You've just got to do it. You've got to do it. Even if you're not planning on closing that many deals this year, maybe your goals are only to do six or whatever, and you already have them, lined up. It's still, you need these tools. You have to have these tools. These are going to make you look like, well, you have to have these tools. You can't do this kind of uh, anal analysis in your head. It just, I mean, you can, but it's not going to be as accurate. So you just need these tools. So I'm happy to hear that you had those two reach out to. That's wonderful. And I know that both of them probably already have the tools on their phone, but they reached out anyway. Awesome. Okay, so last week, by today, you should have your farm area identified. So I'm just going to go through quickly and through with everyone here, and I'm going to, oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Ashley. I was going to ask you for that. I'm going to just go through everybody who's here, and you're gonna identify or tell the group where your farm area is. Okay, I'm gonna start with Chas because I just talked to her yesterday, and I know she's got one. So Chastity, what's your farm area?
My farm area is Grand Terrace.
Mhm. And that's because why?
That's where I'm located and more involved there. So, um, more familiar with the community.
Now, do you feel like it might be too large of an area?
Um, in and of itself, yes, because I guess it would depend on what I'm exactly farming at the time because it's really a 3.3 mile radius. So if I'm sending out mail outs, yes, that's a whole lot of mail outs. But depending on what I'm doing, I think I can focus on the area as a whole.
So you're familiar with like what area more renters live in and what area more home, the values are higher. So I'm sure you have it like all kind of organized, right?
Yes, of course, I can always do better with different things, but for the most part, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Great. Wonderful. So any Grand Terrace leads, they would go to Chastity first and foremost. All right. Let's go to Tanya. Tanya, what is your farm area?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I am Corona in Temesco Valley, which used to be kind of split on me.
Now, do you have a specific area within those? Because those are very large areas again.
I would say Sycamore Creek area and Temesca Valley.
Okay.
Basically, I used to live there. I know the schools there. My daughter still goes in school in that area. So, yeah, I used to work in that area. So that would be my area.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Rachel, what is your farm area?
Don't know how to unmute.
You're unmuted.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I don't have a specific area because I've sold homes in a lot of areas already.
Mhm.
But I want to try to stay closer to home. So I live in San Bernardino,
Mhm.
but I mean, I wouldn't turn down something in Rancho, or if my buyers wanted to find somewhere elsewhere, I would go where they want to go. So,
Okay. Well, your farm area is not necessarily where the only place that you'll buy and sell. So your farm area is where you're concentrating your efforts to become the realtor of choice. Um, it's the area where you go to drop off door hangers. It's usually between 200 and 400 people. So
that's my neighborhood alone.
yeah,
Um,
doesn't it have a name, Rach?
Cimarron Ranch.
There you go. There you go. That would be your farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you've already done some door-to-door stuff there already.
Yes. Not very many people are selling though. Learning that.
Okay. Have you
So
done the turnover rate there? Have you looked it up?
I have not looked up anything. No. So that's why I'm waiting to get together with Aaron and with you so I can start that this year. So
Sweet. Good. You're ready
uh,
to go. Awesome.
yeah, I think my retirement's been in a year now, so I think I'm ready.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have Monica. What's your farm area? Monica. Maybe she's trying to figure out how to unmute. She might have ran to the get some coffee or something. So we'll skip on to Trina. Trina, what is your farm area?
Good morning. I
Morning.
was looking at my nearby home. They call Hunter Ridge, Fontana.
Okay.
I looked through it. I'm very familiar because that's where I live. It's
Okay.
about 1,700 home, but I'm thinking go a little bit lower value because this is like high end value. It's like high 700 and stuff like that. I want
Good.
to go lower than like 500 and below, so it's easier.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
You
I might go different area next week. So that's what I'm looking forward to meet with Aaron and you and learn how to do the turnover rate and stuff like that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's great. I love that you all really have an idea, a good idea of where you want to um, have your farm area. So, just to reiterate, last week we talked about how to find the turnover rate and the size of the area. So, now that you've kind of narrowed down the area where you want your farm area to be, now we need to do that analysis and really identify and have in mind exactly which 2 to 400 homes is going to be your farm area. Now, again, it doesn't mean you can't do work outside of that area. That's just going to be kind of your home base. It's almost like you could think of it like your what do you call that? Like where you do your most of your work, where a test area, maybe like where you're going to be intentional about creating relationships with these people. It's almost like you're practicing. It's where you go to practice how to talk to people. How it's where you're going to do most of your CMAs. It's going to be where you hang your flyers when you want to invite people to do something or go somewhere, or it's just going to be where you're going to learn how to be a great agent. Um,
Hey,
now,
Bobby, and sorry, sorry to jump in. I wasn't able to get my mic on. I
knew
was
something
hitting
was going on.
I was hitting the button and I couldn't make it go.
Oh,
And I was gonna say, uh, Trina, maybe if you're looking at places and you're trying to pick zones, by all means, don't devalue your work. If there's an area nearby that you like, that's a good neighborhood and things are moving and things are selling there, go market yourself there. Don't choose a lower priced neighborhood.
Mhm.
It's not going to be easier. It's the same work, whether you're selling a home that's $500,000 or $800,000. It's the same job.
Well,
You might be, I think,
however,
I think we're all more familiar with the homes that we know, so it always feels a little intimidating to walk into a neighborhood where the homes are higher priced, and you think, well, maybe I don't know how to sell this property, or maybe I don't, understand this neighborhood. But I'm tell you, they're all the same. The people who live in the $500,000 homes are the same people who live in the $800,000 homes.
all right, thanks, Monica. But I feel like the higher end, I have less chance than the lower value home.
yeah.
I
So,
say
yeah, go
Less
ahead,
less
Tanya.
chances. Why? Do you think maybe they don't sell as much in
No,
the higher price
no,
neighborhoods?
because a lot of people I know is not qualified to upper value. So, like my tenant right now, maybe they qualify like 400, 500. That's the area I like to, not only selling, but, helping them get into the home that they can afford.
Right, right. Well, I think actually, even when Bobby was talking about this a bit earlier, or it, if you're identifying an area that you want to market in versus just thinking, well, where am I going to work? Where am I going to do business? They might be two different areas. Where you go for a buyer might be different than where you go to market yourself to get a
Oh, I see.
listing.
Okay, that's a
So,
different, yeah.
yeah, if you go somewhere to say, "Hey, I'm an agent. I can help you. Let's talk. Do you want to list your property?" If you're doing that, choose the neighborhood that's going to make you more money for the job that you do. Um,
Okay.
if your buyers can't afford that neighborhood, that's fine. You can show them homes anywhere. But where you go for your buyers might be a little bit different than where you seek out sellers. That's all I'm
That
saying.
that
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay. All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
use myself as an example. My first year, I did a $2 million house and a $1.2 million house in neighborhoods I had been never, like in San Diego, and one was in Marietta, was that North La Crescent area, which is like, wow. But I didn't let it overwhelm me. I said, you know what, this is the area that I got the listing in. This is the area I got the buyer for. I'm going to learn these areas. You got to know a little bit about the area, especially when you walk in those areas, and just went for it, you know. And now I'm like I said, Sycamore Creek. I think the average house is about $1 million. So that's literally where I'm going to try to market myself and learn that area. But I also have done Beaumont. I just did Moreno Valley. I've also done San Bernardino. So it's not always going to be the same price point between which you're going to sell. It's easier now to go to Moreno Valley after doing the higher end, but like you said, you're doing the same job, you might as well get paid. Don't look small. Like go ahead and go for the big ones. This was my first year out. I think my second deal, I got a $2 million deal, and I was like, "What in the world? Like, why am I selling this?" But I did it. So don't limit yourself.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so now when you're looking at the median price point in your farm area, in the areas that you're considering, don't discount the turnover rate, because what I heard Trina saying was that she was going to an area that was moving faster. Maybe I misunderstood. But if you're considering a median price area that's 8 million versus a median priced area that's 1 million, but the turnover rate is 8 times or 10 times faster in the lower priced neighborhood, that's actually going to net you more money. So be sure to do not stop yourself midway through. Go ahead and do the entire process. Go through all the analysis. So I'm going to show you all how to find the turnover rate and give you a really good understanding of what turnover rate means. Now, all of these rates are based on 1 year. Okay, so this all looks familiar to you. Can everybody see my MLS? This is where you log in and you click this button to go into your matrix. Well, if you click this button, InfoSparks, you're going to get a lot of data. So I'm going to click on that. And then we are going to go to it opens up on this page here. And it starts, and it may look intimidating, but please do not let it scare you. What it's going to open to is this box here is going to say entire MLS. The data you're getting right now is based on the entire MLS, which is Southern California. It's much too big of an area. We have to narrow that down. So we're going to narrow it down by, you're going to get as close to the area that you're looking at as possible. So I'm just going to do, let's see, these are associations. I'm going to do it by my association. So my association is Tigar. But it's not called Tigar. What is it called? Oh, here's counties. You know what? Let's see what they got here. Maybe I can get to a city because I'd like to get to a city. Yes, you can get to a city.
And you can just type in something where it says add an area in the little box to the right of that. You can just type in a city, you can type in a zip code.
Let's do that. I'm just going to do Banning just because. Look at that. You can even go down to agent. Let's see let me just do a quick little test. If I go to my name. Well, there I am. So you can do it by agent. Um, it's not going to show that many. And then they're broken down by, I'm a member of different associations. So this is my Palm Springs Association. This is my, I don't know. And this is East Valley. So I don't want to do my name because I haven't closed that many this year. So I'm just going to do Banning. Okay, so Banning, the city of Banning. So I'm good. And now the next box, I need to, what kind of property am I looking at? So I'm just going to look at all property subtypes. That's going to be single family, condo, townhome, all of these. Now I don't want land on there, but I don't think land is on there. So, okay. Then is it attached or detached? I really don't care. So I'm going to say all. And then transaction side, I'm going to say all sides and then all bedrooms. That's the default. It's going to default to all. So you can narrow down, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay, so it's going to be when you open it, it's going to be on median sales price. So and it's going to be, you can choose over here how you want it to be displayed. So I have it, it's monthly. It's over the past 5 years. You can see if you look down here, it's the past 5 years, and then it's a line graph. Okay, so I want to shorten up this time because I don't want to look over the last 5 years. I want to look over like the last year. Okay, and then you know what these are, these peaks and valleys? That's seasonality. That's because in the summertime, things move faster than in the wintertime. So to smooth out my seasonality, I am going to do a rolling 3 months. That means rolling 3 months means like the last 3 months. So where are we at? January. So rolling would be um, November, December, January, but then in February, it's going to be December, January, February. It's going to roll with you. It's not going to be just chunked like that. So I'm going to do over the last year, 3 months rolling average. And then if I look on the last quarter, which is where they have the last data input, the median price was 432. That's because we have a lot of mobile homes. If I went over here back to the property subtypes and I said, you know what, all I want is single family, then it's going to be, oh, it isn't. Okay. I thought it would be higher. So that's the fun thing about data is that, it'll surprise you. Anyway, we're at 440. That's the median. That's the first piece of data that you want to get. The second piece of data that you want to get is what is the turnover rate? How fast are these things flying off the market? So we're going to get that, we need to change this graph. So to change the whole graph, you look down here in these little boxes here. Right now I have it on sales price. If I want to change it over to volume, then I'm going to click on, I'm going to click on closed.
Closed.
I think so. Closed volume. No, that's not it. What is it? Closed sides. Closed sales. Yeah, closed sales. So go to closed sales. And if you look here, this is 111. That means 111 sold in December. This is an 8.8% turnover rate. That means homes in Banning sell approximately 8.
Actually, I think the percentage you're seeing there, Bobby, is a year over year increase. So that
Oh,
8% says since the last month or since the last
yes, yes,
year, it
yes.
went up.
Yeah, okay. I I just had this the other day and now how did you,
Bobby,
yeah.
isn't this something though that Aaron kind of can do quickly for everyone? So we can
Yeah,
work
you know
smarter, not
what?
harder.
Yeah, so Aaron, can you help us out here?
Yeah, we can run by. I guess if you're wanting a higher turnover, the only thing that worries me about a higher turnover, sometimes you kind of late. So if you get a turnover around 2, that market might start taking off once a house goes up for sale. It seems to increase sales. When a for sale sign goes up in a neighborhood, people start looking at the price value of their house and moving too. So you can farm a higher turnover, and that's not a problem. And yes, I can do it for you, not a problem at all. So I just need to sit with you or to talk with you and where you're focusing or where you're going.
Right.
Like I said, bed, bath, empty nesters. There's a whole variety. So I just want to pick your brain a little bit, and then I can maybe guide you, or we can work together and bounce things off each other, and then figure out what's best for you to move.
Right. Yeah, because if you're looking at a certain demographic within a farm area, that might even have a different turnover rate than different types of sellers and buyers, right? So you really need to identify who are you selling to or who are you marketing to, then get with Aaron, find that turnover rate because there are neighborhoods that sell quicker. There's neighborhoods where, the whole community changes over a 3-year period because the houses sell quicker. And you do get that in the lower price communities. They do sell quicker.
And
The
just to give you
houses
a heads up, I do have graphs that I can show you. We can go over your farm and it'll show you graphs, and I can go 1, 5, or 10 years. It'll show you what's the incline if they're selling, what they're selling for, the average if they're decreasing in sales in that area. So that
yeah,
would help you on your farm also instantly. We can do that in a matter of just a few minutes.
yeah.
So that might help you, if you're looking for, like Trina looking for a specific area, maybe that area is not moving as much over the last year, 5 years, it's decreasing every year.
Yeah.
So, but that's something we got the graphs, we got the averages, I can show it all to you, and you can do it all yourself. It's real quick and easy, but I can sit with you 100 times and guide you through it. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, and that is the importance of meeting with your title person because he can really help you identify the perfect area, the best area for you to market in. So that was just a recap of last week. So let me get into what I wanted to talk about this week. And I feel like this is going to take another week, but that's okay. We could put another training in midweek if everybody's interested and really do a deeper dive into this. I think it wouldn't hurt at all. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you all some questions. And these questions are designed to get you familiar with yourself. You really have to know yourself. As a real estate professional, you are not going to be able to succeed in your career without having without understanding yourself. And until you are in the mindset of um, the correct mindset, it's going to be difficult for you to connect and develop relationships with other people. I think one of the biggest things that changed everything for me was when I went from a mindset of, okay, I need to talk these people into using my services over somebody else's services, or I need to talk these people into putting their house on the market because now is a good time to sell and you're going to need to sell in the next year anyway. From that type of mindset to the mindset of how can I help you? How can I, what can I do for you that's going to make your life better, easier, more joyful? Um, period. Well, what can I do for you to be of service to you? That is the basis of starting a relationship with another human being. And once we take the whole sales thing off the table, then we can really focus on how am I going to create a relationship with you, another person. That is that has to be the bottom line because people are not stupid. People see your intention. And the person who taught me this is Tanya. She has the best way of explaining that intention. And when we're attempting to create a relationship with another human being, if we come in wanting to get them to give us something, they're going to see it. I mean, don't you? Don't you? Can't you see it coming from a mile away when somebody is looking to get something from you? Whereas if they're coming to you to say, hey, how can I make your life easier for you? I'm going to turn this over to Tanya so she can explain it better. But go ahead, Tanya.
Hi, good morning. It's funny when you said that because that's exactly what happened with me too with service. It's just when you start realizing that you want to help people it just comes off more genuine. I mean, I know with me, when I see a salesperson coming to me at a store, like you're grocery shopping, or you're doing your clothes shopping, and there comes that salesperson, and every night it's like, hi, how are you doing? Or they're like, what can I help you find? I'm like, go away, go away, go away. I'm like, I don't want a salesperson. I would like if somebody is like, what are you good? What are you doing this for? What are you looking for? And tries to get to know me as a person, then I'm gonna be more apt to talk to them, and more aptly they're gonna get the sale. Um, so it's all about connection. I think it's totally about connection. It's about like a relation, like you said, relationships. It's basically any type of relationship you have with family members, partners, anybody. They're gonna want you to get to know who they are as a person. Um, I think that all starts too with confidence within yourself. And with that, for in real estate, I think that's knowing the products, knowing why you're asking them, how can I help you? You can't help if you don't know the answers. You can say I can help, and they ask you a question and you don't know, and are immediately going to go away, and they're going to say she didn't know she doesn't know what she's talking about. So I always say to get to feel more confident with that person. Like when I got in escrow, I knew nothing about it. Like I totally got to know everything I possibly can with escrow, so I can know how to answer those questions when any of you come to me or anybody comes. I can say it with confidence, ensuring, or if I hear something within the office, I'm like, oh, I can help because I know the answer to that. It's all about being helpful, but also having knowledge. So knowledge, I would say, this is the number one thing: is know your products, know your areas. That's why farming is important. If you know that area and you know those specific things that are happening in that area, one good thing to know what the local area is doing. If there's events or things like that happening, you can start generally talking to them about, something that's happening. Did you know that in 2 weeks this is happening? They're having a farmers market over here at this bank, or something like that. Know the areas, so that would definitely help you get more coming in, not as a salesperson. Um, Also, as they say, be intentional. Like I said, that's like being intentional to me is basically, like I said, knowing your areas, knowing that what you want to tell to people about, be intentional, knowing that information for them. And then also just living your life, live the life you want. I think a lot of people say, I want to be a real estate agent, but they don't know really what it takes to become a real estate agent. And you guys all attending here today shows that you want to know what the job contains and what it takes. But if you want to be a real estate and be the best in that area, I know when I got in my area, Temesco, they have three. Remax is one of them. I forgot the other two. They have three. It goes so much I remember, but they had three agents that are big in the Temesco Valley. I mean, they've been selling it since it came, and I moved in as an area, and I'm like, I want to sell this area. Kids are here. I didn't take that as intimidation. I didn't take that as imitate. And, I was like, they're there. There's always enough. There's enough. You got to believe that the world, universe, God, whatever you believe in is enough. And I know that's how I base everything is on my faith, is that there's enough out there. God has it for all of us. There's going to be, whatever you believe in, believe there's enough of the power of the universe, whatever. There's enough out there for all of us. And I kind of walk in that every single day. I walk in that every single day. I wake up and I said, this is going to be a good day. I'm going to get an escrow, or I'm going to get, things are going to come to me. Whatever God wants for me is going to come to me. And it just happens to happen. So I just think if you walk in those type of faiths and just and know your areas, be smart about it, believe in the abundance, go out there and it will happen. It will happen. We can stop our own days flowing because our thoughts when we start our day. I really true that. We wake up, we stumble our foot, and we have a bad day, someone cuts us off, and we're just in this bad mood. That energy of abundance is not going to come your way. It's just because you're blocking it. So I just say, if you have a bad day or live in that moment that is now, be focused when you're on the phones with people, be focused when you're at the office or whatever you're doing. If there's something that's distracting, take that time off, get that away, then go back to being intentional and focusing on your work. And so that's what I do. So
Thank you, Tanya. I mean, I've never seen anyone personify that mindset as well as Tanya. Just in her everyday, you can see that she is living that intention. And you hear these things all the time, but sometimes it's hard to really apply them and to really understand what needs to be done. And it's really just that mindset of, for one thing, gratitude, being grateful for what you do have, not always being in a wanting or a needing mindset, but being in I have enough, there is enough mindset, and then couple that with how can I make your life better mindset instead of how can I make my life better? I want to make your life better. When you're concentrating on other people, it really does make your load much lighter. It's crazy how it works. There's so much dichotomy in the living of life, and so much, you know, uh, things aren't all what they seem. You do the opposite of what seems right, and and you can turn everything around just by that simple mindset. I used to talk about mindset a lot because it is that important, but also I wanted to back up on that because a lot of times it's not that easy to get there. Sometimes you have to do some other things to kind of get there. It took me a while to get there too, and I don't feel like I'm there at all, but every day I strive to be there. So we are running short on time. There's so much information I want to get out to you. Would everyone be willing to meet in midweek for a training on the material I really wanted to get to you today on farming, geofarming? By a show of hands or just
Well, Bobby, I have a quick question. You sent
yeah.
out an invite for next Saturday,
Yeah.
for an event at the office, correct?
Yeah, it's that's just our meeting in person business development group. Remember last when we met the last Saturday of last year, we had talked about having one group session in person, and that would be the first Saturday of each month. So it's not so much an event, it's just that we're meeting in person rather than on Zoom.
Well, can we
Okay.
have the discussion of what you're trying to talk to during the week while we're in person
Yeah,
on
and since
Saturday?
we're there and we might have more time, or it just
Yeah,
might would be it'd be easier to
Yeah.
get into the conversation.
yeah. It'll probably be more fruitful in person. We can
Yes.
have a real honest conversation with ourselves as opposed to being behind screens and all of that.
The masses have spoken. Okay, we'll do that. I love it. I love it. I love meeting in person anyway. So, okay. So, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to turn it over to Scott so that he can get his um, lending updates in, and then I'll come back. So, go ahead, Scott.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, Bobby. Tanya, that was great. Very, very good job. Very good. All right, I'll keep it quick. Again, we're up against time. So mortgage update for the week, 10-year treasury bond, 4.63%. Ouch. Average mortgage rate, 7.12%. I wanted to share something today, which goes in line with Bobby, saying if you already have your 6 transactions set up for the year, why wouldn't you want to get 1 more or 2 more? That's just more, compensation to your pocketbook towards the end of the year. So who couldn't use an extra $10,000, $20,000, whatever that commission is on those deals that you do. So I have this presentation put together. I'll be reaching out to set up and inviting all of you. It'll just be for this office, but I have this created. I'm going to be doing it at another location. But one of the very cool things that Cross Country does, and we are the #1 lender in the country doing this, are non-QM loans. Does anyone know what a non-QM loan is?
No.
All right. Non-QM is a non-traditional form of financing that allows specific types of buyers to purchase when they cannot go with standard conventional financing. So I have the sheet here. So in last year, and this number, blows me away. From 2023 through to 2024, our non-QM portfolio went from 48 million to 176 million in 1 year.
Wow.
That's crazy. So talking about adding transactions to your pipeline for this year. One of the big ones, bank statement loans. You can qualify self-employed borrowers using 12 to 24 months bank statements. We use 50% of their allowable deposits. If they have their tax returns completed by licensed CPA, tax preparer, CTEC, trying to think what the other code is. We can potentially, and they use specific verbiage. We could potentially use up to 70 to 75% of those allowable deposits. Perfect example. I qualified a borrower this week. Based on his tax returns, his monthly income broke down to about $4,100 per month. I said, let's take your tax returns and let's look at that angle. His monthly income is $42,000 a month. So he went from qualifying for roughly a $400,000 house to a property between 900 and 950,000 which is what he's looking for. So he went from, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to qualify, to qualifying. We also have a 1099 loan for self-employed borrowers. Again, 1099 borrowers, they mostly file that Schedule C, sole proprietor, on their tax returns. We don't even look at the taxes. You provide us our 1099, we get this tax letter from your tax person, and we use the income reported on your 1099. No deductions, anything is counted. So just a few things to think about. I'm going to be doing a presentation, or trying to set this presentation up here very soon with all of you. But again, these are ways to add to your pipeline of getting extra transactions through the year. Or if you're still figuring out how am I going to get to these 6 transactions, start talking with financial advisors, CPAs. They're the ones that are dealing with these self-employed borrowers. They need to put money here. They need to buy a house. Most of those times they're having those conversations and saying, I can't buy a house because I don't show enough income. There are solutions around that. And like I said, adding to your bottom line or your pipeline for that year to get those extra transactions. So I'm definitely going to be pushing more of these loans because they're just as good as qualifying as standard FHA, conventional, or VA financing. Lastly, I'll wrap up. I know this specifically because I did title when I first got in the business in 2001. I worked in title until 2007. I was a title rep as well. Use your title rep. They have a wealth of information that they can provide to you. Contact Aaron, reach out to him, utilize him. He has his team around him that will provide you the information that you were discussing on this meeting, helping you with farming. I think even, notice default rates are going up as well. So title rep is definitely a support or a power partner for you as a real estate agent. So I highly recommend talking with your title rep as well. So thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Hey, Scott, I'm sorry, quick question before you go. For sellers that are looking to sell and buy, in your presentation that you said you're going to give, will there be information regarding bridge loans or any other kind of financing that they can use for those sellers that are trying to work those angles of buying before they sell?
Yep. So we have it's technically a bridge loan, but the way we operate it, it's not a bridge loan. But Cross Country Mortgage has developed a product. It's called Buy Now, Sell Later. It works as a bridge loan, and I'll get into the specifics of it later. Again, we're up against time, but we do have a product, and we do offer bridge loans, but our Buy Now, Sell Later, I think, is going to be more beneficial than an actual bridge.
And that'll be in the presentation you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Scott, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you do HELOC?
We do. HELOCs, HELoans, equity lines, standalone mortgages.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey,
Hey,
Scott.
Bob.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Rach.
Go Chiefs. That's all I have to say.
Hey, Rachel. Go Bills.
Uh-oh.
May the best man win.
I have an important question. We need to clarify. Are we having Scott bring mimosas on Saturday?
Scott?
Yeah. Oh, I was just waiting on a response. I offered to do it.
Oh, I say yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I think we can probably get some breakfast treats too. Aaron?
Aaron got us. I know he does.
I didn't hear nothing.
We'll talk later.
All
All right.
right, that's on it.
All right. Well, thank you
Oh,
all.
I'm sorry, one last thing.
Okay.
I'm doing an open house today with one of my friends. She's somewhat new in the business. We're going to be at Edge Hill today. I think it's unit 53. Come see us, visit us. And we are going to put some signs out. She already knows the gate not to be open, but if the signs have to be picked up, please don't throw them away.
We won't give you a violation, okay?
All right, thank you.
I'll know where to send it. No signs. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, Scott. That's perfect. One more thing. I am going to be sending out a worksheet. I was going to try and go through it with y'all today, but we did a lot of review. So I'm going to send it out to you. Please to have that filled out before next week. Bring it with you to the group in person and we can go through it together. But please do that work before you arrive, unless you have questions about it. If you do have questions, just give me a call. I'll help you with it. If you get stuck on one of the questions, yeah, just give me a call or text me and we'll get it done. So thank you all. This was a great group. I feel like we should expand the time, but for today we'll end it here. Have a good week, everyone. And I don't think we have any students, but we'll be having class directly after this one, same link. All right.
Thank you. See you guys
later,
in person
Have a
everyone.
good
next
week,
week.
everybody.
Go Bills, Rachel. Go
Go
Bills.
Chiefs.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, good. I'm just waiting to start class now. I don't know if we're gonna have anyone. Um,
Is somebody in there?
yeah. Hang on. Well, hang on.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. I was muted. Okay, who can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Phil?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that I bought the test prep class. So I'm going to give everybody the login. And when you complete, and you can use it anytime you want anyway, but once you complete the classes, then you want to do that test prep class and then get your test. Between the time that you schedule your exam, it'll probably be like 2 or 3 weeks. So during that 2 or 3 week period, you just want to be doing the test prep. That's all you want to do. The uh, I wouldn't worry too much about doing any test prep until you have your exam scheduled. You don't want to start too early because it's just going to be, forgotten. So you want to time it just right. And the way that I've seen it work the best is that you schedule your exam, then do test prep, take your exam, and it works out really, really well. So, I'll just email that to you, or you can just let me know when you need it. Um, but let me go ahead and log in right now. We'll do some. Does anyone have any questions, first of all? Is there anything that you didn't understand in your reading this week?
No, I don't have any today.
Okay. And then how many chapters did you each get done, Sasha?
I was able to only do two, but then since I'm free this weekend, I was gonna do some more.
Awesome. Okay. What about you, Phil?
I'm sorry, Bobby. I was in the kitchen.
No,
But
I just asked
sorry.
how many chapters you got done.
I'm sorry to get any because I had the flu this week.
Oh, you poor thing.
Uh,
Okay, well, maybe try do some reading today.
I will. I will.
Yeah, while you're
Okay.
down and in bed, sometimes that's something you can.
Yes, that's what I'm doing right now, laying down and listening to the meeting.
Okay, good. All right. So, did you hear the part where I bought the test prep?
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
heard that part. Okay.
So, I would like to, as soon as you're done um, with your classes, then schedule your exam and then start the test prep.
Okay.
The test prep has flashcards. There's actually almost 700 questions. So that is a really good place to start. I was just going to do some Q&A for a few minutes just to, let's see. Okay. All right. Where's the answer? Oh, okay. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to give you a description of something and you're going to tell me what it is a description of. Kind of like Jeopardy. I'm giving you the answer and you're going to give me what is, the question. Okay. So what is a report showing the condition of title before a sale or loan transaction? After completion of the transaction, a title insurance policy is issued. What is the name of this report?
I'll try.
It is the,
What is it? The preliminary? No.
yes, it's the
Oh,
preliminary
okay.
title report.
Title
Yes.
report. Okay.
Yep,
I
you
was
got
like, 'cause that sounds familiar of
it.
what I was doing the other day with Tanya. So, excuse me.
Yep,
My voice.
exactly. Okay. Oh, what happened? My thing disappeared. Okay. Oh my
There
goodness.
you go.
Oh, wow. Okay, I pushed the wrong button for sure. There we go. I'm back. All right, got it. All right, next one. A program which allows the purchaser to do work on the property in place of or all or part of the down payment and other costs of the purchase. A program which allows a purchaser to do work on the property in place of all or part of the down payment and other costs of the purchase. I'm not sure that we've actually gone over this. This is oh, okay. Does anyone want to venture a guess? You often hear this in relationship to like being an entrepreneur.
Mm.
It's called sweat equity. So it's work
Okay.
that you're
Like,
doing in lieu of payment. Okay, next question. One who has taken a note, check, or bill of exchange in due course, one, before it was overdue, and two, in good faith and for value, and three, without knowledge that it has been previously dishonored and without notice of any defect at the time it was negotiated to him or her. Woo, that is a long one. One who has taken a note, check, or bill of exchange in due course. One, before it was overdue. Two, in good faith and for value. And three, without knowledge that it has been previously dishonored and without notice of any defect at the time it was negotiated to him or her. So this one I don't even expect you to get, but I'm going to tell you that's a holder in due course. And I think when you approach these questions, a lot of times the answers are embedded in the question. And this is where this test prep class is going to help you out a lot because I mean, I don't know if you've run across this term, but holder in due course is like escrow. You know, escrow is going to hold the funds. Um, they're going to get them before they're overdue. They're going to get them without any knowledge that there's anything wrong with them, and they're just going to hold them in due course of the transaction. So that's one of those definition ones that we'll definitely want to go over. Okay, FDIC, agency of the federal government, which ensures deposits at commercial banks, savings and loans. So I wonder if they're just wanting to know, yeah, they're wanting to know what the FDIC stands for. Anyone want to venture a guess?
Mm.
I think we can guess F. That's federal.
Yeah. I'm like, I see it all the time, but I'll never see the whole.
Yeah. So it's the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. So they're
Oh,
deposits. It's a federal agency and the C is corporation. So just
federal.
try to remember that. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Okay, next one. Okay, the Subdivision Map Act, and you will need to know this for the test, requires subdividers to submit initially a tentative map of their tract to the local planning commission for study. The approval or disapproval of the planning commission is noted on the map. Therefore, a final map of the tract embodying any changes required by the planning commission is required to be filed with the planning commission. I don't know what they're looking for. True or false? Oh, they want to know the name of this map. So it's the map that's submitted, because you know what the Subdivision Act is. The Subdivision Act is all the rules that surround a developer wanting to create a new subdivision. You know, these little tracks that pop up everywhere, the new home tracks. Before they build, they have to have a map of the area. They have to submit it to the planning division of the community in which they're building, and that has to be approved, you know, prior to them doing any building. So what the question is asking is, what do you call the map that is submitted to the planning department before it's actually approved by the planning division? So that's called a tentative map, which kind of makes sense. It's tentative. It's in the middle of not being approved and being approved. So just remember that term is tentative map.
Is that the only map that needs to be approved?
I'm
Is
not
there,
sure.
I don't know if
I,
that's a question, like a good question. Not. I'm just wondering because I know there's like different kinds of maps
yeah,
for.
yeah.
Oh,
You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
okay.
Um, I want to say that for a subdivision approval, that would be the only kind, but
Okay, for subdivision approval.
yeah, but there's others that need other kinds of approval, like your roads. Like
Mm-hmm.
that one map can't have all the information needed because there'd be too much information. And then your wiring, your
Mm-hmm.
plumbing, like there's a ton. So I don't know. I'll try and figure that out or get
But
that.
for sure, for the subdivision map, is a
For the planning
tenant
division, they need
planning.
that subdivision.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Okay. An interim loan, generally made between a short-term loan and a long-term loan, when the borrower needs to have more time before taking the long-term or permanent financing. So it's a interim loan, which would be short-term, made between a short-term loan and a long-term loan when the borrower needs to have more time before taking the long-term or permanent financing. So I think what this is referring to is like, you know, if you have a house and you're looking to relocate, you need to sell one and buy another. And they essentially need to be done at the same exact time, which is very tricky when you have a loan that you have to pay off when you sell the one home and you need to get another loan for the new house. So it's almost like, gosh, it would be so easy if we could just buy the new house first, you know, and then sell the old house, pay that loan off whenever it sells. Instead of trying to do everything so fast, my son tried to do this and he ended up with a house that he really didn't even like because he had to do it so quick and he had just a little bit of time before escrow closed. Otherwise, he was going to be homeless. So, more and more lenders are actually looking at these ways that buyers or relocators can do this. So, what is that loan called that is allowing the purchaser to buy the new home first before selling the old home? We just talked about it in our group this morning. So if you were there, you probably heard it. I don't think either one of you were there, though. It is called a bridge loan. So just think of it as like, you know, it's a bridge getting you from here to there, and it's called a bridge loan.
So it bridges the short term to the long term? Is that why it's called bridge?
Yep.
Oh,
So what
okay.
they do, what the purchaser does is they get a little loan that allows them to buy another property when they're still holding on to an old long-term loan while they sell the old house. This allows them to kind of take their time, you know, and get the property that they really want so that they're not having to rush. Otherwise, the option or the alternative is they have to list their house. They have to let any person that's going to place an offer on that house know that, hey, this is contingent on us finding a house. So it decreases the number of offers that you'll get because some people buying don't want to take that risk. Like, what if you never find a house? Are we just out of luck? So
Mhm.
that's going to decrease the number of offers they get on their home. Plus, then they have to, while the house is in escrow, they have to hurry up and buy a house. So it's just it makes it harder all the way around, and they don't oftentimes get the house they want. Whereas when they get a bridge loan, now they can kind of, okay, relax. We're gonna find a house that we like. We're gonna buy it, and then we'll list our old house and sell that and then pay off that bridge loan when the house sells. And the bridge loan is really, it only needs to be as much as the down payment or however much you're going to use to buy the new house. So it's a smaller loan and it's very short term. It's only like 1 to 3 months that you're going to have this loan. So called a bridge loan. Okay. Next question. Okay, my page closed. Wow, I have so many things open. Sorry, guys. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. The cost of acquiring property other than the purchase price, such as escrow fees, title insurance, lender fees, attorney fees, etc. So what are those costs called that are over and above the purchase price? Anyone want to venture a guess?
You see the fees other than the purchase price?
Yeah, they have a term for them.
Mm,
You've heard it before.
trying to think.
Closing costs.
Oh, duh.
I know, it was like too easy.
And I was like, I'm like, I know it's not hard.
Yeah, sometimes they trick you. Okay. In appraising, what is the cost of a substitute property, either identical or of equal utility? So this has to do with like in appraisals. If you're appraising a property and you have other properties that you're comparing it to, that's kind of a clue because they're similar.
The
What are
cost of substitute costs, you said?
the term for a
Oh,
substitute?
term.
Yeah, what they're using to compare to
I
get
don't
a
think
value.
I know that one either.
They're called
Substitutes.
comps because they're using it to compare to get the value of the property that they're appraising. They use comps. And those are properties that are similar in utility or in or they're identical, a substitute property.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
comps.
write that down. Like COMPS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Growing crops are considered personal property. If you sell a property that has like trees, fruit-bearing trees, um, depending uh, the, depending on where they're at in their growth cycle, some of the tree is called is part of the property, and some is considered personal property. So, if they're crops that are growing, what there's a term for those. Um, does anyone know the term for a growing crop?
Um, it starts with a E.
Yes, it does. You have it. Oh my God, this is exciting. It's called emblements.
Yeah.
Emblements, and that's the profit from growing crops that have been sown, regarded as personal property. So,
I just couldn't think of the word because I've had
yeah,
that conversation
yeah,
with somebody before. That's why I remember starting with an E.
yeah, that was good. So if you had like four choices, you would have gotten that one.
Yeah, because I don't remember who I had a conversation with about
Yeah.
that. That's how I kind of remember.
So it's like the trees themselves are part of the estate. They're part of the real estate. But the crops, the fruit that comes off of it, that's personal property. Or the profit that you get from those, that's personal property called emoluments.
I wonder why they do that. How come the whole thing is just not mine? I mean, I paid for the land
I know,
and
yeah.
everything, so.
I think they're talking like until you, because your labor went into getting the actual fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So once it transfers ownership, then now it's the new person's labor that's causing that embezzlement or,
Oh, okay.
you know, so it kind of it goes along those lines. Okay, we'll do one more and we'll call it. Alrighty. A voluntary association of two or more persons to carry on a business or venture on terms of mutual participation in profits and losses. So this is a voluntary association of two or more people in a business or venture where they share the profits. It's a little bit simpler than it sounds. So if you think about different types of business organizations,
So, like, they're partners
partnership.
because
Exactly.
it's
You got
two.
it. As a partnership. Yeah, that's also stuff you're going to have to know for the exam. Like, what is a corporation? What's a partnership? What's an LLC? Um,
Okay.
liability corporation? Those types of things. So, all right. It is 10:59. We're going to call it. I will send you the password and log on to our new class. Okay, let me make sure that I have it. Account. Who is it? Okay. I think I used my own name as the. Okay, I just logged myself out. All right. So anyway, if it doesn't work, just let me know and we'll get the correct login. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful weekend and
You too, Bobby.
next week. Now, next week is the first, and we're actually going to be at the office meeting for the staff meeting, I mean, for the business group, business development group. So I won't be on Zoom. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to skip the week or do you want to meet in person or, because I'm sure the group's going to go long for them. So we'll have to start later. What do you guys want to do?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Well, why don't we skip and then we'll resume on the second Saturday of February at 10:30.
Okay.
Okay? And I'll
Okay.
try to send out a reminder.
Okay.
All right. See you.
Bobby, I signed
Yeah.
up for that. I signed up for that to go in because I wanted to see what it was like. Is that okay?
Signed up for what?
The in-house. I got.
I think he's talking about the form that was sent out for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Is it
both are
okay?
welcome.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
see what it was like.
No,
Start
you
getting
both are
involved.
welcome to come.
Okay.
Please come.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
You too, Sasha. If you're not doing anything, please come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty.
All
Have a good weekend.
Thank you,
right.
Bobby. I'll see you on
Bye-bye.
Monday.